we're in the lab. Lee's caffeine is kicking in, and you saw that title too as well. We're talking about 10 new Mandela effects to get your mind going, asking questions about the reality you live in. Yes, 10 new Mandela effects actually from the viewers. So if you see yours, man, let me know down below. With that, remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you, but they will be new to somebody else. So please respect it. There's a lot of people waking up since CERN turned on. So you got to understand a lot of people are starting to see these old Mandela effects. With that too, if you like this at any time, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, because every number counts, and leave me your comments down below what you thought about these Mandela effects and the ones you see too as well. So let's get this going, man. Talking about 10 new Mandela effects to blow your mind, and I'm starting off with number 10, and I'm talking about the Macy's 4th of July fireworks extravaganza. Yes, 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 you heard me. Macy's 4th of July celebration. In my reality, and I don't know how many others' realities, because this one shocked me. I never remember Macy's doing a 4th of July spectacular fireworks show. I've never seen it. I've never heard of it until I got this sent to me. Even the person who sent to me, he said he asked 150 people about this, and they all said, what the hell? I looked it up too as well, and apparently Macy's has always done this 4th of July extravaganza thing since 1979. It blows my mind, because I would have thought by now, since the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade is one of the biggest things in the world, you would figure that on the 4th of July, if Macy's did do this, in my reality and theirs, we would recognize this and know this all the time. But what do you remember? Do you always remember Macy's doing a 4th of July extravaganza after fireworks? Or do you remember it like I kind of remember, that don't remember Macy's ever doing a 4th of July extravaganza? Number 9 on this list, I'm going to be talking about Batman's sidekick and confidant. I'm talking about Robin. Yes, Robin. Look at this picture you see right here. Does his cape look kind of weird to you? Kind of just not right? It does to me too. It doesn't look right. A lot of people, including myself, remember Robin's cape being red. Yes, red, just like his suit. It was part of the red and yellow suit that he always wore. And apparently it has never been red. It has been yellow, or yellow and black. Now, I do know there's different versions of Robins in different timelines of Batman. But to me, the yellow looks really odd and off to me. It just looks weird. But, I am not an expert at this one, but his cape looks awfully weird. I always remember his cape being red, let alone maybe black too as well, but yellow just looks odd to me. It's weird to me. I just don't understand it. But what do you think about this Mandela effect? Do you remember Robin's cape always being yellow the way it is? Or do you remember Robin's cape actually being a couple different colors, like red or like black or maybe green? Let me know.
Whip, yeah. You mean Cool Whip? Yeah, Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. You're saying it weird. Why are you putting so much emphasis on the H? What are you talking about? I'm just saying it. Cool Whip. You put Cool Whip on pie. Pie tastes better with Cool Whip. Say whip. Whip. Now say Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip. You're eating hay.
Yes. Number 8, actually, we're going to be talking about Ready Whip. Yes, Ready Whip. Look at this picture right here. Does it look right to you? Does the spelling look right to you? Does Ready Whip look right? No, it doesn't. In my reality, many realities, a lot of people remember whip being spelt with the H. Yes, whip. Ready Whip. Cool Whip. That is how I remember it too. I always remember Ready Whip with the H. It is hard to find any evidence of this, and it is mind-boggling to me that even if you listen to the commercials on with the closed caption, it even says whip with the H, W-H-I-P. But what do you remember this? Does Ready Whip look right to you and always has been right without the H in it? Or do you remember it like I remember it and many remember it with the H in the whip? Now, number 7 is a little bit of a weird one. Yes, as we do these Mandela effects in our lives and we watch these Mandela effects, this Mandela effect has to do with the spelling Mandela. Yes, as you see the word, how you spell Mandela, which one looks right to you? Which one do you remember is right or feel it is right? Now, if you have picked the one with two L's, well, you might be kind of right, but you're wrong. Mandela has never been spelt that way. It's never been spelt with two L's. It's always been originally with one L. But even my reality, even when I Google this, it is odd because it corrects me, but yet still gives me information about two L's of the Mandela. Now, it is odd to me, it is weird to me. I do kind of remember seeing two L's in it. It is weird, but if you're talking about the mandala projects and stuff like that, the mandala paintings or projects, that could be also the case too. But I vaguely remember Mandela being spelt with two L's. It is odd to me. It is kind of weird and odd. It boggles my mind so much. But what do you remember? Do you always remember Mandela being spelt the way it is now with the one L? Or do you have a vague memory back there somewhere when it was spelt with two L's? Number 7 on the list, we are going back to Mount Rushmore, and basically this Mandela effect, there's two of them. This Mandela effect has to do with the missing head or the missing face that was supposedly on Mount Rushmore. As you see the pictures, you only see the 4 presidents that are up there, but there are many that remember a 5th head on the mountain. I've looked this up. I couldn't find it myself, but I also looked it up and it said that Benjamin Black Ink, he was going to be on, or was the missing head on Mount Rushmore, which is so odd and weird. It is crazy to me because I always remember the 4 heads. It's widely vague, but with that too as well, have anybody else heard about the Mandela effect of Lincoln used to be right next to George Washington? I'm going to throw a picture up there for you real quick. Yes, this was actually sent in from Proven, the picture was. And man, in reality somewhere, I remember Lincoln being right next to Washington as well. And it's so odd and so weird. It's like residue from so many universes coming together. But it is odd because when I saw that picture, I was like, wow, I have seen that before. But what do you think about these Mount Rushmore Mandela effects? Do you remember the missing head, Benjamin Black being the missing head on Mount Rushmore? As well as, do you ever remember Lincoln being right next to George Washington? Let me know about this one. Halfway on the mark, number 5 is this Mandela effect that has been just shot up in the last couple days. And it's such an old Mandela effect too as well. And I'm talking about King Tut and his ornaments on his head. In my reality, in millions realities, we always remember King Tut with just the cobra on top of his head, a cobra on top of his crown. That is what King Tut was. That's how I remember it. Even the Sphinx back in the day actually had a cobra on it too as well, which that's in the Mandela effect. But as you see now, King Tut has a vulture on his head as well. Vulture, an eagle, but there's a bird there. There is a bird. Where did that bird come from? It is so odd. It's so weird. Like I said, this is an older Mandela effect, but a lot of people are starting to see this one now for the first time, and it is so odd to me. Even the vulture looks really odd and kind of off now too, to me too as well. But I always remember that one thing on there, and it was the cobra, it was the snake. But what do you remember of King Tut? Do you always remember it the way I remember it and millions remember it with just the cobra on his head? Or do you remember it just the way it has always been and how they found him with the vulture and the cobra? Number 4 on this list, we are going to the great classic television game show, Price is Right, and the wonderful host, Mr. Bob Barker himself. Yes, Bob Barker. Now, in my reality, in many realities, we remember Bob Barker dying in 2017 at the age of 94 after he had fell and slipped and hit his head on the ground and into the hospital, and he died. That is how I remember it. I remember Bob Barker dying back in the day, and many people do too as well. But the Mandela effect in this is that he has never died. He didn't die. He is still alive to this day. He is 98 years old, being rolled around watching television and Price is Right. This is oddly crazy because many of us remember Bob Barker dying in 2017 because it was all over the news about him passing away. But what do you remember of Bob Barker? Do you remember him staying alive, being alive, him never being in the hospital, never even having a death? Or do you remember it like millions of many of us remember watching this on television on the news of Bob Barker dying in 2017 at the age of 94? Number 3 on this list, I have checked this out. I've looked over to it. It looks so weird to me. And I'm talking about Little Caesars itself. Little Caesars. And first, I'm going to start off with just little. I, in my reality, always remember little just being the LIL. That's how I remember it, just the LIL Caesars. That is how I remember it in my past. For some reason, it was always that. They never rebranded, but I always remember the LIL for Little Caesars in that. But as well with this Mandela effect, look at the spelling of Caesar. Yes, yes, yes. You see the spelling? Yes. AESAR. In my reality, I always remember the E and the A being flipped around. CEASAR. That is how I remember it always being spelled. Caesar was Caesar, like Julius Caesar, but Julius Caesar even isn't spelled that way anymore, which is so odd and weird. And I kind of went to a Moneybags channel because he did this a while back ago, and he even shows you how he remembers it, how I remember it, how newspapers have typed it in there with the EA instead of the AE. It is odd to me, so weird, so crazy. It is phenomenally crazy how this Mandela effect has changed twice to me in my reality. But what do you remember? Do you remember like I remember it, and many of us remember it, first off with the little just being the LIL? And do you also remember Little Caesars being spelled Caesar with the EA? Or do you remember how it's been now the entire eternity with the full letter with little and Caesar being the AE? Number 2 is going to be that classic ice cream treat that we had from the ice cream man during the summer, and I'm talking about Push Pops. Yes, Push Pops, Push Pops, Push Pops. We all had Push Pops. They had Flintstone Push Pops. They had so many other different Push Pops. You see the Push Pop right there. But what if I told you that it has never been called a Push Pop ever in this eternity of my life? As you see this right here, it's called Push Ups. Yes, 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 it has always been called Push Ups, never been called Push Pops. Now, it is odd to me because my reality as a kid, millions of kids' realities, even us as adults, still call these things Push Pops because that's exactly what they were. They were Push Pops. You cannot tell me any different. You can't tell these kids any different. You couldn't tell my grandma any different. They were called Push Pops, not Push Ups. It is so weird to me because it's an iconic cold ice cream delectable treat that you have on a hot summer days, or even when you've been good in school, or hell, if you've been sad and you just want to lift yourself up, you want to push that pop up and enjoy that delicious cream. But what do you remember it? Do you always remember it the way it has been always being Push Ups, or do you remember it like I remember it and many remember it being Push Pops? Number 1 on this list is going to be the clothes chains Kohl's. Yes, 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 Kohl's, Kohl's, Kohl's. And I'm going to throw up some spellings up there for you right there. Now look at it, look at it, look at it. How do you remember Kohl's, or always thought Kohl's was spelled? Now, if you are spelling it KHOLS, well, you're wrong. It has never, ever, ever, ever been spelt that way. It has never had been spelt KHOLS. It has always been spelt Kohl's like this, KOHLS. This one kind of blows my mind a little bit, throws it back in that damn deep bunker of mine, because Kohl's was always spelt with the H in front of the O, never after the O. It is odd. Many people remember it being spelt that way too. You can actually look it up, but it'll correct you, but it knows it's right. It is weird. It is odd. You know how this whole system works. But how do you remember Kohl's being spelled? Do you always remember Kohl's being spelled the way it is now, KOHLS? Or do you remember Kohl's being spelled like I remember and many remember it, KHOLS? You gotta love it, man. 10 new Mandela effects there to blow your mind, make you question the reality and your own spelling in your world too as well. Like I said, if you enjoyed this at any time, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and let me know your comments down below about the Mandela effects you would love me to talk about and what you thought about these as well. Other than that, y'all remember to keep your mind open, because those eyes will see everything in front of them. And remember, stay
I'm
courageous.
going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you. A world without rules and controls, without borders or boundaries. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.